What's up, everybody? John Arapola here with My MMA News, and today's guest is fighting Tim Johnson at Bellator 277 on April 15th. I'm pleased today to be joined by the number 4 ranked heavyweight in Bellator, Linton Vassell. Linton, thanks for being here, man. Really appreciate the time.
What's up, man? Thank you, no worries. I'm all good.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this. And we were just having a great conversation off air about the WWE, but now it's time to get into some MMA stuff here. So we'll start with your training camp here. You're down there in South Florida right now, getting ready. Fight night's a few days away. Just how's camp going as you kind of start to wrap things up before fight night?
Yeah. Sanford MMA, again, we just spoke about it. One of the greatest teams, I feel like, in the world. With some great training partners, great coaches. And training camp has been gone perfect. Like, obviously, every little bumps and bruises, but it wouldn't be fight camp if you didn't have that. But yeah, I feel like I'm on point, and the fight's like 2.5 weeks away. I feel like I'm just where I need to be right now.
So obviously we see the accent. Everybody already knows that you're British, but if anyone is watching this for the first time, they obviously get the accent that you're British there. How exactly did you end up in South Florida in the first place?
But again, been in England all my life pretty much. And then I fought Emmanuel Newton back in 2014, and it was for the world title. It didn't go my way. I ended up losing the fight in the 5th round. So it got to that point where even my coach, Danny Batten, back in England at BST, he was always trying to push me to, Linton, you've sort of outgrown this gym, so you're going to have to sort of go elsewhere. Not, get rid of me, but to find some training. So I looked online and I found Black Zillions at the time and a few other gyms. And Black Zillions got back to me. So I went on the first plane pretty much straight back. Got on the first plane straight to Florida. And within the first couple of days, I knew this was the team for me. And I've been here 7 years later, pretty much.
I say everybody I've talked to so far, like I remember Ian Gary, I talked to him before his UFC debut, and he was saying nothing but good things about the gym, how it's helped him grow. Daquan Buckley recently, he's from my area of Pennsylvania, and same thing, like saying how much he's grown and evolved since he's been down there. Just, I mean, can you touch on that as well? Obviously, now you said 7 years you've been down there. Just how much have you grown as a fighter in these last 7 years from training down there?
If I said it wasn't leaps and bounds, I would be lying. So obviously, you don't evolve straight away. It takes, time. You've got to be in the gym day in, day out. And I always thought I was a good grappler. But now I feel like I've gone to a whole new level of grappling. It really is. Greg Jones is a grappling coach. And the amount of stuff he's taught us, not just me, taught the whole gym. There's moves I never even heard of or even seen before, and I can do them now. And being such a big, athlete at 240, some people are like, how are you able to do that? But, I feel like the more you practice something, obviously the better you're going to get at it. And 7 years later, I feel like, I've just gone higher and higher. And I'm only really feel like I'm touching the surface as well.
And I'd say, obviously, great coaches down there, but a lot of great training partners. Is there anybody in the gym that you kind of like to go with that's, maybe a high level on something that's able to teach you different things that you never knew just from working with guys in the gym on something, never mind a great coach like that?
Again, the whole team, I can't just name one name or two names. The whole team is world beaters. So whether it be like a Gilbert Burns, a Steve Mowry, Jason Jackson, Sean Soriano, I'm learning something from each person, whether it be a kick, a punch, a takedown, a reversal. Again, I've grappling coach Herbert Burns. We're learning so much. So I can't just pick, even though I named a few names there, but there's so many guys out there that's teaching us, and we're learning day by day and just getting better each day.
All right, let's get into this fight here a little bit. So let's talk about Tim right now as an opponent. We know, obviously, he's a real big guy, hairy chest, tough as nails. Just what are you expecting out of him on fight night, and what have you seen out of him so far as you've been scouting him?
Well, I feel like everyone sort of knows how Tim is. He comes out swinging heavy, he's got that powerful, left hook, and comes in with that cross as well. And again, is a good wrestler as well. But I just feel like I'm the total package. You know, I mix it up with the striking, grappling, it all. And I feel like I'm just going to be able to, you know, be quicker than him, be faster, be stronger, and outwork him, you know. And I feel like that's what I do to most people. End up, you know, grinding them out. Like Tyrell, again, a great athlete, but I was able to out wrestle him, considering I'm not a wrestler. And that's what I was telling you about, obviously, the G Jones. Yeah, so, you know, that's what I take from Tim. You know, he's a big, strong guy, but I feel like I'm just gonna shut him down.
And when I look at this matchup too, I look at the rankings and I see 4 versus 5. It seems like
Yes.
obviously people are starting to get cleared out of there a little bit, like with Bader fighting Czech Congo here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you think this is almost a title elimination fight in a way that a win here could get you a title fight here at heavyweight?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna say yes or no because Tyrell, me and Tyrell are supposed to be a title eliminator fight. You know, I didn't get my wish, so you know, we'll see. We'll just see what happens. You know, Bellator always have a plan and stuff. So obviously, to me, it's a title fight. Also not a title fight, number one contender fight. But we'll have to see pretty much what Bellator have in store.
And obviously, there's still another matchup there with Bader and Czech Congo that needs to take place too. God only knows what's going to happen there and the route Bellator could go with. But I just want to get your thoughts on that matchup. Obviously, Bader's been the man there at heavyweight since he's won the title there. Just do you think that there's a possibility we could have a change of hands here, or do you think Bader retains the belt?
Of course, you know, Czech's big, powerful, big, strong guy, man. You know, if he can get his hands on him, land either a knee or TKO, you know, we've got a new champion. But we sort of know what Bader's, obviously, his game plan as well. He's going to obviously try and take him down and probably, you know, win on points or something like that. But it's exciting because Czech's my boy. So it'll be exciting to see what happens.
Yeah, looking forward to that matchup as well. And now I want to talk about you a little bit here since you've been going the heavyweight. And the thing that's like that I was so amazed with was, so I actually was at your fight when you fought against Ryan Bader. It was in State College, Pennsylvania. It was actually the first MMA event I ever covered live, and that was at 205 pounds. Then I see these photos of you training online, and I see there you are, 6'4", 240 pounds, muscle, six pack. How in God's name did you make 205? And do you feel a lot better now that you are fighting at heavyweight and that you aren't cutting that weight anymore?
I'll tell you how I made it, by dying.
I can imagine.
It was the hardest, but I knew better. I knew no better, should I say. I thought that's what you had to do, cut weight and be the biggest in that weight category. It worked for a number of fights. It got me two title fights, but I felt like I never was able to win the title. So yeah, it really did kill me. So I naturally walk around about 235, 240. So once I'd lost, obviously, my last fight at 205, it was like, yeah, you need to, you know, fix up and change something. So the next step was, let's go to heavyweight. And I feel like 240, solid, fit, healthy, at my best.
And I know there's been fighters in the past that have talked about like weight cuts affecting, you know, things like the brain, affecting your legs, your performance in it, you're slow, that you're off. Do you feel like when you're inside the cage now that your performances have been so much better because you're not, you know, dying from cutting weight like that, and that you're coming into the cage at full strength?
100%. Going back to my last fight, it went 3 rounds. And I don't know if you saw it, but we were grappling, striking, up and down. And if you go back to my 205 days, if I was doing that, 3rd round, I was exhausted. You know, so it sort of shows you that I've found my right weight to train at, and obviously train the right way. You know, it's not about being the biggest in your weight category. You know, it's about being healthy. And I feel like being 240 now, no cutting weight, I'm at the best. I really am.
And obviously you're chasing down that Bellator heavyweight championship. And we know that British heavyweights have been all over the news recently. Of course, that's in the sport of boxing. But and I'll get your thoughts on those boxers here in a moment. But I just want to ask you personally, you know, if you're able to chase down this title and win it, what would it mean for you to say that you were a British heavyweight champion in the sport of mixed martial arts? Because we haven't seen that yet. We're so used to seeing it in boxing, but we haven't seen it in MMA yet.
Yeah. Mate, it would mean the world. I know everyone says it'll mean the world, but that's the only way you can explain it. It really would be like all these years, time, the dedication, the sacrifices I have made, moving to Florida, not doing this, not doing that, missing family parties and all this kind of stuff, staying in and training at 5 a.m, whatever it is. It'll mean the absolute world to me to be like, I did it. I actually did what I set out to do and I accomplished it. I am one of the best in the world. Being world champion, you are the best in the world. So, you know, again, it'll mean the absolute world to me.
Well, hopefully we'll see that there soon, too. If you get a win here, I think that you should definitely be next in line there. But I do want to end today, though. I'll get your thoughts on the recent British heavyweights, your fellow Brits there. Obviously, Tyson Fury's been the man as of late. Unstoppable. Great fights with Deontay Wilder. Just, you know, what does it mean to you just as a fellow Brit seeing what he does? Because Tyson Fury's like really become a big sports icon over the last few years here, what he's been able to accomplish.
Again, it sort of shows you that the British can do it. I know it's usually like the Americans that usually winning the world titles and stuff. So, in a way, not saying following his footsteps, but it really is to say that he's doing it for us. And I can be a part of that, you know what I mean, on the MMA world. So, again, that's a big thing he's doing, and I'm proud.
And why, you know, he's accomplishing all that. There's been the big shock with Anthony Joshua. Obviously, he just lost his titles to Alexander Usyk there. Your thoughts on that? Obviously, they're having a rematch coming up. Do you think that AJ is going to be able to retain the belts once again?
You know what? It would be nice, but I just feel like Usyk sort of got his number. You know, he's a bit quicker on the feet. You know, a little bit lighter than AJ as well. So AJ missing them punches, you know, obviously gets a little bit more tired. So it'll be amazing to see him obviously win his belts back again, doing it for the UK. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he comes back in the rematch. I'd like to see him, you know, get his titles back.
I say, were you surprised with his game plan too for that fight? I was a little surprised that he was willing to just stand there, and obviously Usyk's going to be faster than him, and Joshua thought he could match him with the speed and that his power would eventually take over. But it took a little too long, and then obviously he ran out of gas there later on in the fight. I was surprised that Joshua didn't come out being the bigger guy and kind of bully him and put his weight on and make him carry it around. Do you think maybe he tries to do that this time and adjust some things there? Because if he comes out with the same game plan as the last time.
Yeah, so obviously the game plan didn't work the first time, what he tried. So maybe he might go back to his usual ways, lean on them, be a bit bigger the guy, bully him a little bit, and tire him out.
All right, I got one last thing now. Obviously, we could sit here and talk about WWE for forever. Before we came on here, we had a huge, big, long conversation here all about the WWE. But I was just curious, you're in South Florida. The WWE has their training facility. I believe is it in Orlando? Is it? It might be, I don't know, a little bit of a ways, but Orlando. Yes. Okay, so have you gotten to go and check it out and see anything there, or not yet?
So Orlando is a good 3 hours, 3.5, 4 hours nearly away from me. I would love to go, but it really is, don't want to drive that far because it is a long old drive. And I always feel like having the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm always really training, or if I'm not training, I want to be resting. But I will have to make my time to go out there again with Jason Jackson, because I know me and him are big wrestling fans. So if I do go out there, I'll have to go with him, and we can go check it out, see some of the divas.
For sure.
For sure, man. For sure.
All right, man. It's been a great conversation. Appreciate the time. Before you roll out, go ahead, plug your social media, management, sponsors. Anybody give a shout out to that you haven't done so already? Floor is yours.
Of course. You can follow me on Instagram. That's LDV The Swarm. Sponsors: Headblade, Hayabusa, Apex, FedEx, Parker Beaumont. Again, appreciate you guys for all the love and support.